Welcome. Today I'm reviewing the Giant Fastroad E Plus 1 electric bike, the 2020 edition. I am going to talk about the good bits and the bad bits, based on my experience with it, using it, and what things I like, what things I don't like, what things I might do differently. Um, I'm going to talk about the specs very quickly. I'm assuming if you guys are buying the bike, you've already done a bunch of research. Here, the focus really is my experience and how it feels to ride the bike, how the spec actually translates to the ride, and that's what I want to focus on. So I'm going to split this into three parts because it's quite long. The first is just me raving about the bike and giving you a bit of an overview. The second is the road ride, where I take it out on the road, try it on the different levels, and give you a bit of a feel. Try to give you a bit of a feel for how it feels when you're on the bike. And the third is how to use the battery. There's a couple of little nuances I want to talk about when you come to using the battery, so I'll talk you through that. And then I have got a bonus fourth video, which I am in two minds about whether to put up or not. So I may put that up. It's a little secret that they don't want you to know about, and it's a way to make the bike faster. But so, like I say, watch out for that. I may or may not put that up. I'm going to start with I'll start with a spoiler alert. I love the bike. It's absolutely amazing. It's like having a scooter, but with the convenience of a bicycle. You don't have the big helmet and the leather gear and all that kind of stuff. You can jump on your bike, do what you need to do, cover a fair distance. I'm talking, 40, 50 miles. And you're on a bike. You have the convenience of a bike. It's absolutely phenomenal. So I've got the medium size. I'm about 5'9", 5'8", sometimes 5'10", depends how who I'm talking to. I've got the medium, and the geometry is absolutely perfect for me. I normally go for a larger bike, but this has been totally comfortable. It comes in a small, a medium. They do a medium large, which is in between a medium and a large and an extra large. I'm going to link down to the Giant website as well, so you can see what the actual sizes are and all the specs, so you can double check all of those things for yourself. Okay, so the bike comes in at around £3,000, which, yeah, it's expensive for a bike, but the convenience is so amazing. As I said, for a motorbike, you're paying upwards of £3,000-4,000 plus the gear and the inconvenience. You're getting an amazing bike that you can use daily. It will change the way you commute if you're using the train or the tube at the moment. Even if you're commuting to the next city along within a 30 mile range, this could be your mode of transport. So £3,000, but I personally think it's worth it. I mean, I personally feel that's a lot of money, but I also feel that it's worth the investment. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the spec. It's obviously an aluminium alloy. It uses a 6011 aluminium technology. It weighs about 20 kilos, actually 19 kilos it weighs, which is pretty good. It doesn't feel like a heavy bike. Even if you have the assistance on low, it doesn't feel like a heavy bike. It's built really well, and the flows really well with it, so it doesn't feel that heavy. And 19 kilos in the day for an electric bike is pretty good. Obviously, it's got the smart. It's got a smart assist, which talks about it assists on your on your pedaling, but also it takes into account somewhat the terrain as well. So if it's on an incline, it'll give you an extra boost. The the gear is engaged as so the whole time. So this is as if you think about um, a car, when you put the clutch down, the gear disengages and the car freewheels. This bike doesn't. The gear is engaged always, which means if you don't have the electrics turned on, you're kind of pushing against the motor. I've done it without the motor, and it doesn't feel that bad, but the gear is engaged, and that's something to keep in mind. You are kind of you're moving the cogs as you cycle, which will provide, which will add a certain amount of resistance. But in the right part of this, I'll talk about how to use the bike, so to lengthen the battery, and you can get up to you can get anywhere up to about 100 miles on it if you use it conservatively. So in terms of gears, it's got 11 on the back and 2 on the front. It's got a nice big couple of gears on the front, and 11 really smooth gear operation, and that out the box it worked really well. Couple of the things that I do have a little gripe with, doesn't come with mud guards, doesn't come with the rack as standard. And obviously it's a hybrid, so there's no suspension, so you feel those bumps. It's a city bike, it's a hybrid, it's not supposed to be off-road. In terms of the mud guards, if you're riding in all weathers, you might want to consider adding mud guards and a rack if you're carrying things. So it doesn't come with those. It doesn't come with those, and the you have to look around to find those things. If I can find any accessories for you, I'll add them in the description below. But you have to look around to find those things. The rack is quite easy to go on, and I'll show you the rack later on. But the mud guards, not so much. So that is a consideration. Okay, so I went out to the park earlier on, and I gave it a bit of a thrashing, let's have a look at that. Let's have a look at me having some fun on this bike. Like I said, I absolutely adore this bike. It is so convenient, but also so much fun to ride. You can get to all of those places that you may have been puffing and panting to get to before. You can get to a bit more confidence. You can still have a workout because you can still adjust the amount of assist, so you can still get a workout in, but you can just cover a lot more distance. Get out of where the local spots that you might be cycling at the moment. Go out 15-20 miles, and it's not it's not an effort. So it does have the potential to change the way you view kind of leisure riding and exercise. In that way, you can, where I live, I can get out to the mountains in 20 minutes, whereas on my non-assisted bike or on a non-electric bike, I might think twice about that, or I might drive the car to get to the location and then do my ride. With this bike, I could just go straight from home and actually not feel that I'm struggling, because it just gives you that additional range, and I think for that it's so much fun having this bike. You'll find a link to the ride video, which is the next video, the second video in this series, in the description below. While you're down there, hit me up with a like, drop me a comment, and with anything else you'd like me to review, or just how you feel about this video. But hit the link in the description to get to the next video in this sequence.